published 17:30 Eastern Standard Time, the 10th of January 2018, updated 4:24 Eastern Standard Time, the 11th of January 2018. The story of Manchester City's young defender Tosin Adarabioyo encapsulates the way the world of academy football has changed utterly in the 40 years since the suspended Newcastle United coach Peter Beardsley was making his way in the game. The 20-year-old, on City's books since the age of 5, has just bought a 6-bedroomed house that was listed at £2.25 million in Cheshire, even though he has never featured in the Premier League. Nothing new in that, you might say. It's a little over 10 years since a teenager based at a London club rolled up at an England junior game in the back seat of a Bentley. Academy football has changed utterly since Peter Beardsley was making his way in the game. Manchester City's Tosin Adarabioyo has just bought a 6-bedroomed house listed at £2.25 million. It's all the more staggering given Adarabioyo has never featured in the Premier League. As academy boys find fabulous wealth, some of the parents discover such a distorted sense of entitlement and self-importance that you wonder who on earth would want to be a coach in an environment like that. These days, the parents are the worst, says the mother of a current Premier League academy player. Some give out dog's abuse to anyone who challenges the sons. Some of them think the boys are God Almighty. Her testimony bears out an assessment Frank Lampard provided a few days ago. Parents have this different sense of normality where my boy is going to be a superstar, he said. Parents have to calm down. Time will tell whether 56-year-old Beardsley has, as several witnesses allege, bullied and racially insulted young players in a deeply misguided attempt to keep Newcastle's academy players' feet on the ground. But it does not need a forensic investigation to see the vast generational gulf between the young players of today and him. In 1979, Beardsley left a job sweeping factory floors to join Carlisle United on £90 a week. He was infinitely more gifted than any of today's youngsters, yet earned in a year back than what some of them will take home in a week. And he was brought up on brutal coaching regimes, not least Carlisle's under-manager Bob Stokoe. Frank Lampard urged budding young stars and the parents to keep feet firmly on the ground. Time will tell whether Beardsley has, as several witnesses suggest, bullied and racially insulted young players in a misguided attempt to keep academy players' feet on the ground. Stokoe terrorized us, says one of his teammates from those days. It was old-school army culture when he joined Liverpool in 1987. Humiliation on the training ground of young players considered arrogant or inadequate remained a fact of daily life. Plenty of scope, then, for a deep cultural division between this coach and his players. None of which means those old ways were the right ways. Coaches whose work has straddled the recent past and present look back with embarrassment at the way things used to be. I shudder to think about when I was an academy manager 15 years ago, says one. I remember one of my coaches and the stick he dished out. I ask myself now why I didn't challenge that at the time. The old culture is obstinately hard to remove from coaches who lack the intelligence to adapt. A video clip received by Sportsmail as part of an examination of alleged academy bullying captures a coach screaming, ******** off kid. Just ******* off. The recipient of the abuse, which went on for months according to his father, looks desolate and inconsolable. Beardsley joined Carlisle in 1979, where then boss Bob Stokoe. Army culture terrorized them when he joined Liverpool. Humiliation of young players considered arrogant was a fact of life. Our investigation has also established that concerned parents are struggling to be heard in places where bullying does exist. In desperation, a number of Newcastle parents took to ringing academy staff they knew at other clubs, asking them how they could do something about it without damaging the children's career prospects. That fits a pattern. The father of an Aston Villa academy player spent 7 months pleading for an investigation into academy coach Kevin McDonald. Villa were ordered to overhaul the welfare protection for academy players after a Premier League inquiry uncovered evidence of bullying, aggressive behaviour and unacceptable language from McDonald, but the 19-year-old's father says he made 8 attempts to blow the whistle on McDonald's behaviour, approaching 5 different organisations before an investigation was launched by the Premier League. He claims he gave up on Villa dealing with the problem, could not find anyone to help him at the FA and then waited 2 weeks for a response from the Professional Footballers Association helpline. He was finally directed to the Premier League by the Football Ombudsman. The father of an Aston Villa player pleaded for a probe into academy coach Kevin McDonald. Villa were ordered to overhaul welfare protection for academy players after a Premier League inquiry uncovered evidence of bullying, aggressive behaviour and unacceptable language. McDonald, 56, remains at Villa as under-23s manager and the young player has found a new club. Villa have previously said they believe there has been a significant improvement under a new management structure at the top level of the club. The club added, unannounced visits from the Premier League have highlighted and confirmed improvements have been made. Though the FA have taken severe criticism in the past year, they have contributed significantly to the development of coaches who nurture and mentor young players, rather than hurl abuse at them. Steve Cooper, coach of England's World Cup winning under-17s, identifies help received in building players' personal and emotional development as one of the most important factors behind his side's triumph over Spain in India in October. The FA will next week meet a new organisation, the Players and Parents Trust, set up to provide the same help for academy players that the PFA provides for the established pros, with a view to using them. There are incredible pressures on many of them and psychologically they're the most vulnerable, says Trust co-founder Peter Lowe. But the focus is very much on the established players who have already made it. Steve Cooper, England U17's boss, believes personal and emotional development is important. The FA will meet with a new body, the Players and Parents Trust, co-founded by Peter Lowe. Trust, which has already helped 20 families, believe the presence will also help clubs who find themselves on the receiving end of complaints which prove to be invalid. Look at the history of great coaches and you find some of the best were tough, adds Lowe. Manchester United's Eric Harrison has just received the MBE. Ask his players how tough he was. Coaches must still be allowed to be strong. In Newcastle, the Beardsley controversy is providing useful cover for the fact that the club are again doing minimal business in the transfer market. The coach was under investigation last summer, though is close to owner Mike Ashley, and nothing came of it at the time. If things go against him, he is likely to be asked to undergo a re-education program at the very least, though the value of that looks questionable. He doesn't believe he has done anything wrong, says the former teammate. He belongs to an era which was different. A former teammate claimed the Magpies U23's boss belongs to an era which was different.